RMJ movie reviews back again, and I'm coming. This is actually a on the fly movie review, but I'm doing it from the house because there's a lot of snow outside. But the Belko experiment, directed by the gentleman who directed Wolf Creek, and actually written by the gentleman who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy. The Belko experiment basically tells of some office workers over in I think it was it Colombia. I can't remember. It's either South America or Mexico. I'm sorry, guys. I went to see the thing yesterday, and I've like kind of already put it out of my mind. And basically, they are part of this experiment where they're shut in this office building, and then they're basically told, if you don't start killing each other by the certain number that we specify, we're just gonna kill all of y'all. And thus forth, the slaughtering between one another and backstabbing literally begins. That tells the story of the Belko experiment. The Belko experiment. The gentleman who directed this, his previous effort, Wolf Creek. You know, I know Wolf Creek gets really praised as a modern gritty classic. I was actually working at a Regal Cinemas down in Dayton when that movie came out, and I particularly was not really a fan of it. I kind of what I took issue with was it moves so slow, and then once it got into John Jarrett's stuff, you know, it was appropriately gritty and nasty, and I was like, okay. And then it just kind of ended where he like killed both the girls, and then the guy got away, and I was just kind of like, huh, like what? And the second one I actually like a lot better. The second one I think is kind of okay. Matter of fact, I got a review for it earlier on my channel. But on to this film. I mostly liked it. I thought it was okay. I've never seen Battle Royale in some of these other movies that it's being compared to. But I really it was okay. I like the premise. The premise is cool. I don't know. This review isn't going to be really too long, guys. There really isn't really much to observe here. If there's one thing... Oh, I tell you what movie this actually reminds me of, though. This actually reminds me of... I don't know if any of y'all out here have ever seen it. A movie called The Divide. Michael Biehn is in that. Courtney B. Vance. Mila Venti. The guy who played Rocky's son and Rocky Balboa is in it. The guy who was in The Call with Halle Berry, who played the sicko who was kidnapping people. Who else was in that? Oh, Rosanna Arquette is in that. Really, really brave scene she had to do in that thing. But an old girl from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is in it too. But this movie kind of reminds me the most of The Divide. The Divide is much, 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 much more, way more grittier and wow. Those of you who have not seen The Divide, I actually owned it on DVD at once, and the movie was so unpleasant. It's actually one of the few movies that I actually gave back. I didn't return High Tension or The Hills Have Eyes remake, but I gave The Divide back. Wow, that's a ugh. But this kind of reminds me the most of that, where kind of you get people in this isolated situation and they kind of basically deteriorate and start turning on each other. So in this case, they make their decision pretty damn quick. I kind of wish they would have delved more into, and they did this in The Divide, where like you get people that start breaking off into subgroups. You know, you start getting people who, you know, want to do one crazy thing gung-ho, and then you got another group of people like, oh, let's be peaceful, and they can't come together, so they kind of like start trying to kill each other and all that kind of stuff. I wish they would have went into that a little bit deeper and kind of went a little bit further with the psychology of it. I was okay with all the gruesomeness and the grand guignol. That was cool, but I kind of wish they would have, as far as they pushed the gore, I wish they would have pushed the psychology that far too. I think the gentleman's name is Tony Goldwyn. You know, his first movie, which from my understanding of the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, he doesn't like to talk about it. That was why he didn't participate. But Tony Goldwyn, who was in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, you know, he was the one who Jason stuck with the spike pole. Get out of the road, scumbag. Now, if I get him first. You know, he's that guy, and Jason throws him over his head. And Ghost, too, with Demi Moore, where he starts freaking. He gets killed with the window. He's really good here. Oh, also Kiss the Girls. He was the guy Casanova. Well, he was one of the killers in Kiss the Girls. He was the voice. And actually, he kind of does a little bit of that Kiss the Girls voice here. But he's really good in this movie. He kind of is effectively creepy when he has to kill, but I kind of wish his creepiness would have went a little bit further. I don't know the name of the one gentleman who kind of plays the male protagonist here. He is he's okay. I liked him. I was with him. John C. McGinley, I mean, he's pretty much playing another variation of every Psycho he's ever played. He's playing like a role he played on that mini series. I think it was called Intensity, which is basically like High Tension, where he has the girl kidnapped and he murders the whole family. He's playing and surviving the game. So he's kind of playing a variation on those two Psychos that he's already played. And he does it good here. Would have been nice if he would have got a little bit more screen time, but, he was good. As far as the actual gore and the violence is concerned, it's what it is. It's over the top. It's over the top Saw-esque type of gore, and it's pretty much cartoony with heads exploding and all that stuff. It isn't really even really remotely disturbing. I will say there is one scene that I found kind of effective, and basically there's a scene where basically these guys are deciding, okay, we got to kill these number of people, so we're about to decide who's going to go, and they're kind of putting people in certain sections, like, okay, we're going to do these, and they start picking people, and then they pretty much line them up like a firing squad and start picking, and there's like this music that's playing in the background. Now, I will say that was pretty effective. Some good tension there, a little bit of intensity, a little bit disturbing there on that scene. And then the music stops and it kind of loses. Sorry, Michael Rooker is also in this movie too for a very short period of time. And the creepo kidnapped kid from Prisoners is in it too. But that scene is there is some disturbingness and intensity there. But then kind of after that, it kind of gets into cartoony, over the top stuff. But it's a decent gory filled night at the movies. It's what it is. So that's pretty much my review for the Belko Experiment. I thought it was okay. It does what it's supposed to do. Oh, and Greg Henry is in it too, from like all of Brian De Palma's movies. In Payback with Mel Gibson. I forgot he has a very small role in that too. But it does what it's supposed to do. It's a decent shocker, good gore. The gore hounds in the audience will be going, be laughing and all that stuff. So it does what it's supposed to do. That's my review of the Belko Experiment. I probably won't buy it when it comes to Blu-ray. It's not one that I would go back to again and again and again. But like I said, decent time waster. So ring the little bell so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thumbs up the video also, and share the video, and subscribe to the channel, and leave comments down below about the Belko Experiment and how you felt about it. RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll see you guys soon.